Today we're going to explore a kind of unusual topic, the people-pleasing dismissive avoidant. Hi, I'm Jess. I coach people one-on-one to rewire their attachment style so they can feel secure and build lasting relationships. The link is in the description box if you want to find out more. So the people-pleasing dismissive avoidant, where do I even start with this one? So the reason I decided to make this video is that I have two dismissive avoidant guy friends, and they have both at various points described themselves as people pleasers. And they're both high on the dismissive avoidance scale, and they aren't fearful avoidants. And I thought it was interesting that they use this phrase because it isn't a phrase that I would use to describe them. And I'm pretty sure that it isn't a phrase that other people close to them would use to describe them either. But it is valid that they see themselves as people pleasers. So while dismissive avoidants are often disconnected from their emotions and needs, they do, to an extent, know their internal world. So let's get into the mind of a dismissive avoidant and think about what they mean when they say this. So one of the main reasons dismissive avoidants can be people pleasers is that they really don't like conflict. Now, fearful avoidants tend to be more confrontational in certain situations at least, but dismissive avoidants will really avoid conflict at all costs. Conflict might involve messy, unpredictable, intense emotions, which are really uncomfortable for dismissive avoidants. So they do what they can to not face conflict. And they can also feel like they're losing control during conflict. So they sometimes people please to keep things smooth and calm. And it's super interesting because dismissive avoidants people please with a kind of a more easygoing whatever energy, and it's quite different to the people pleasing of anxious attachment, say. So it can just seem like they're super chilled and relaxed, but it can actually be about control, which is in some ways the opposite of chilled and relaxed. And even if conflict isn't on the cards, people pleasing can be a kind of preemptive measure to maintain stability and control. And a quick heads up, if you're anxiously attached, this next part is for you. If you've ever felt like you're giving it your all in love, but somehow you keep sabotaging your relationships without meaning to, I've got something that can help. I've put together a guide that breaks down the 3 biggest mistakes anxiously attached people make that push love away, and exactly how to break those cycles so you can finally build the secure relationship you've always wanted. And I'm giving it away for free for a limited time. And honestly, if you're anxiously attached, you can't afford to miss this because these are the exact patterns I've seen destroy relationships over and over again. And I also explain what to do to turn it around. I've helped over 5,000 people find love through So Synced. My work has been featured in Forbes, Cosmopolitan, the New York Times, and many more. So yes, click the link in the description box to grab it while it's still available. So another big reason why dismissive avoidants people please is because they don't really express their needs. So they've learned through conditioning not to say what they want. Perhaps when they expressed themselves as a child or in previous relationships, they were ignored, dismissed, or even criticized. They learned it's just easier to go with the flow rather than share their preferences and opinions. So they might let other people choose the restaurant, make the plans, pick the movie. Perhaps being easy as a child was how they stayed safe and connected. So that's what they learned to do. And this is not all dismissive avoidance for sure. It's a certain type, and I'm going to make a separate video about the different types of dismissive avoidance because they can differ quite a lot. And avoidants can also have a fear that if they voice their needs, you'll leave. Connection does feel fragile to them. Last but not least, dismissive avoidants often want to be seen as good people. Most of them carry a deep fear of being a bad person, and people-pleasing becomes their way of essentially soothing that fear inside themselves. It's a way of trying to prove both to themselves and others that they are a good person. In the mind of a dismissive avoidant, they can fear setting boundaries in case people think that they're a bad person for doing that and saying no. And I have a super fascinating story about this, and I haven't asked him yet if I can share it with you, so I won't tell you now, but I'll hopefully share it in a future video. So yes, that explains the people-pleasing avoidant. And for dismissive avoidance, Yeah, it's not the classic people-pleasing behavior of always bending over backwards for everyone, but it is a form of people-pleasing. And it is possible to rewire your attachment style. And I work one-to-one with clients to do just that, so they can build secure, lasting relationships. I think it's the best thing anyone can do for their relationships and their life in general. If you want to start that journey yourself, sign up via the link in the description box. You'll also get deeper insights I don't share anywhere else.